So here's the secret. Doing the work takes much less energy than avoiding the work, as the ancient wisdom says. So what does this mean? It means that the energy it takes putting something off day after day after day, having that dark cloud hanging over you, that's greater than actually just freaking doing it. You might be here because you're overwhelmed. And I used to get that feeling where I was so overwhelmed that I literally just wouldn't do anything. I was at a point where I was completely underwater with bills, chores, health, personal projects. Literally every single thing in my life felt like a huge, daunting project, and I just felt like I was completely underwater. Eventually, I was able to get myself out of this place and create my own income and my own business. So here are 5 secrets on how I got out from underwater and actually was able to create more time for myself in order to crawl out of that hole and create a sustainable business. So number 1, procrastinate on purpose. You can't do it all. So stop thinking that you can. You have to know which things to put off and which things to do in order to be effective and actually move forward. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the mud. So this means possibly not being able to do every dish, not being able to make your bed every day, not being able to answer every single email. That's okay. There's going to be some things that pile up in order for you to be able to move in a forward direction. So a part of being effective, a part of multiplying your time is knowing which things to do and which things not to do. Another way that I have created more time for myself is by brain dumping each month. You can do this as often as you would like, but I personally brain dump by the month. So what does this mean? I'm going to show you an example of how I brain dump, but usually I do this on a blank piece of paper or a whiteboard, and I write down everything that comes to my mind. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to show it to you on a Word document. So you can organize your brain dump worksheet however fits your life, but this is how I organize it. So I have client-facing projects, I have miscellaneous client tasks, I have personal tasks, and then I have personal projects, and then I have my business projects. So for my client-facing projects, I might put edit 1, edit 2, edit 3, edit 4, edit 5. And then for some misc tasks I have here, I wrote write email to Bob, do video revisions for Sally, do video revisions for Barbara, follow up with Sarah. If you haven't guessed by now, these are made up names. And then for personal tasks, I also put personal tasks on my brain dump too, because those are things that cloud your mind. You want to think of every single thing that's weighing on your mind and write it on this list. Every single little thing at the beginning of the month. So anyways, so for personal tasks, I have vacuum car, pay phone bill, clean out closet, take clothes to Goodwill, scrub bathtub, sweep balcony, and buy lint roller. And for this one, I have film poetry video scene 5 and 6. And then for my business projects, I have my 2024 videography reel and 2024 Tizo video commercial. It's obviously an evolving brain dump. The next day tomorrow, there might be something added to it because that's just how life works. But anyways, from this list, from your initial brain dump, so you're going to tackle 5 to 7 things a day. That's it. 5 to 7 personally is my sweet spot. Like obviously there's periods of ebbs and flows in business. There's going to be periods where you have to do way more than 5 to 7 things because that's just how business works. But for my baseline, I typically like to stick at 5 to 7 things per day. So once you take your 5 to 7 things, you put them into blocks like so. So for example, I might take 2 blocks to finish edit 1. I might take 2 blocks to finish edit 2. Then I'll take a small break and then I'll write an email to Bob and then I'll do revisions for another video. And then during this block, I might make progress to my videography reel and pay my phone bill. Obviously, there's going to might be little things that you're ticking off throughout the day. Maybe you are sending some emails that are coming in, but for the most part, you want to stick to this as your road map. This multiplies your time because in one sitting at the beginning of the month, you write down everything and you get that out of the way. And that way you can oversee what you have for the month and you can think of things in a somewhat bigger picture. But then you can tackle it in manageable chunks, which is really the key, especially if you're feeling like you're underwater. So just commit to 5 things a day, and that's fine. That's normal. You can't do it all, so don't try. This multiplies your time because less really is more. A lot of the time we think more is more, but no, less is more. Secret number 3 for multiplying your time is creating systems. So if you're anything like me or like the way that I was, you're avoiding creating systems because of the initial front work that it takes to put into those systems and to learn those systems and organize those systems, etc. But just do it. Just do it. This is your sign to just do it. You're not doing it because you're avoiding it. And the hardest part really is just getting started. Create the system, just do it. You don't really get an immediate reward from creating a system. It's definitely a long-term reward that you experience over the course of the month or the year or even beyond. It takes 1 or 2 hours to create that system or that organizational structure, maybe even longer depending on the complexity of it. Let's go back to the mantra from the beginning of this video. Doing the work takes much less energy than avoiding the work. So just do it. So number 4 for creating more time for yourself is zooming out. So a lot of us look at our lives from a day-to-day lens, and that's good. Obviously, you need a plan for your day. You need a task list for your day, so that way you have an anchor to fall back and focus on. But in order to truly be effective, you need to zoom out and look at your life from a quarterly or yearly lens or even beyond. So for example, rather than thinking I want to put out 1 piece of content per week, switch your thinking to I want to put out 12 pieces of content for the quarter, because then you're going to start thinking in batches. And that's where the secret sauce to efficiency and systems is. Because rather than taking the energy to film 1 video per week, maybe you just designate 1 whole day to film all of those content pieces or 2 whole days to film all of those content pieces. And then you don't even have to worry about it for the rest of the quarter. That's where the secret sauce to efficiency is. So number 5, so in business especially, it's absolutely critical. If you want to gain more time for future you have to sacrifice the time that present you currently has. What are some examples of things that you should do in business that might not have any immediate payoff? I've talked about this in a lot of other videos. Doing work for low cost or sometimes even free in order to get experience, the client testimonial, and a project for your resume. Hopefully, maybe at this point you're at the time where you're beyond doing work for free. Maybe you're at the point where you're still kind of doing it for a low cost. Whatever it is, this is an example of sacrificing your time now for your time in the future, because there are underlying hidden benefits of the hard work that you're putting in now. And a lot of people don't want to make those sacrifices because so many people want immediate gratification. So another example of something that doesn't have immediate payoff is maybe doing sales call after sales call after sales call until you finally hit a win. So pretty much if you want to gain any of your time back and reach any level of success, you can't have shiny object syndrome. So a lot of people give up in business because they're going broke, or they go through like a 3 to 4 month period where maybe they're not making a lot of money. And then they decide, okay, I'm just going to go back to my job. It's safer. I'm making more money. And that's a part of the sacrifice of growing in your business or growing in any area really, is realizing that there will be a lot of front work. There could possibly be a lot of periods of famine. This realization is crucial for buying time for your future self, because we're assuming that the business that you're wanting to create is more lucrative than the job that you might be currently wanting to leave. So many people, they fall back to their job and they play it safe. And then at the end of the time, playing it safe compounds to losing so much more time than you would have had if you were just broke for 3 to 4 months. In conclusion, this is the mantra for today's video. Doing the work takes much less energy than avoiding the work. If you avoid it, it's just going to hang over your head day by day by day like a dark cloud. And you need to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. If you were to take away anything from this video, it'd be just do it. Just frickin' do it. Stop avoiding whatever it is you're avoiding, because it's always going to catch back up with you. The biggest secret to multiplying your time in the future is just doing the frickin' work. All right. Well, good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.